you doing today? I'm Frankie G, the Cooking Cowboy. So what do we want to do today? We're going to be using my new Blackstone 36-inch griddle. Now I'm going to be making Philly cheesesteak. So first thing we want to do is we want to get some butter and put it on the grill. You see the griddle's already hot. So you want to get that butter melted in there. I'm using the left hand side because first thing we're going to do is the peppers and onions. I'm also going to be using some olive oil. There we go. So I've got the griddle on medium-high heat. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our peppers and onions. Put that here. I'm using 2 red peppers, 1 yellow pepper, these are all bell peppers, and 3 yellow onions. So I'm using more than what the recipe called for, because that's what Mrs. Greco wants. So that's what we're going to do. Now this is only the second time I'm using it. Let me adjust this camera a little. Guys, I'm the star of the show. I want you to say me first. Now I have this set on medium-high heat. I'm going to lower it down just a little, because I'm kind of a nervous belly. So to this, I'm going to be adding about 3 or 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Some onion powder. Some salt. And what are we using? Pink Himalayan sea salt. Go from up high, because it's better for it. And just some black pepper. Come on, you. Again, we're going to mix all that together. Now, when you're cooking, you have to have the right utensils. So I've invested a little money, got myself a good couple of spatulas. I've got some of these here bottles. I got one is olive oil. I have another one, but I'm using avocado oil since we don't want to use vegetable oil here. So we're going to let these do their thing, whatever it is, for a couple of minutes. And then we're going to get to the meat. So what I have here is I have about 2.5 pounds of ribeye. Now, you could look it up for a Philly cheesesteak, and everybody says the best cut of meat to use is the ribeye. So that's what we're doing. As you can see, there's a little prep involved. Oh, by the way, this is a 1-hour meal, and I'm going to be calling this segment of what I'm doing here as Griddle Me This. You know, a little play on Riddle Me This. A little play on the word. Griddle Me This, episode 1, Philly cheesesteak. I'm such a clever guy. I tell everybody that I am a YouTube sensation in my own mind. There's a lot of things going on up there in that mind. I tell everybody I'm going to write a book. The name of this book is It's Hard Living With Me. And what it is basically is we all have our quirks, and I got plenty of them. And I can't escape my own mind, so believe me, it's hard living with me. These look like they're coming together pretty good. Now, as you notice, I have not put the meat on yet, and that's because the meat cooks really fast. I took this ribeye and I put it in the freezer for about an hour, maybe a little bit more, and then I sliced it down in thin, not shavings, but very thin, so it's going to cook fast. Give this another turn. I'm going to be back in a minute because I almost got the most important thing. The cheese. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Give these another turn. Now, the recipe from Blackstone calls for cheese whiz and for provolone. I don't want cheese whiz, so we're just going to be using provolone when we do this. So let's get a taste here. See what we got. Wow, and a good flavor. The apple cider vinegar gives it a very interesting flavor profile in a good way. You could use red wine, but you could use apple cider vinegar too, so that's what I'm using. Now you want to let these cook so they're almost done. And what I'll do when I'm feeling that they're done is I'll turn off this left burner and I'll just push these off to the side to keep them warm. And they're going to cook a little bit more, but they won't be over direct heat. So it'll only probably, hopefully, just soften them up. All right. Again, what I'm using is ribeye. Now I had 4 pounds, but I cut it down, you know, all that extra fat out of it, the fat that's the bad fat, and just left the good fat in it. And then when I measured everything, it came out to about 2.5 pounds. So I broke it down to about 2/3 of a pound into 4 individual sandwiches. These are coming along real well. Let's get one more taste. Wow. What really good flavor. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding the meat. Alright, and don't forget, like I just did, to add some olive oil and butter. So you want to break it up a little. Turn this one off. Set this to the side a little. Again, you can see just how fast this is cooking up. It is coming along quickly. The meat is almost done. I'm almost ready for the next level. Start forming it like this. Get over it. So, now that I've got it formed into approximately 4 even portions, I'm going to start putting the onions on. Now at this point, again, the recipe calls for cheese whiz first and then some of the onions, but again, nobody wants cheese whiz here, so you got to keep them all happy. Look at that, she's looking beautiful, huh? There. There. That's pretty much all done. Alright, so now again, I'm using provolone cheese. Now don't be skimpy on the cheese, okay? Let's get that there. Let's get that there. I'm gonna get over this with the lid open. It's like echo, echo, hey, echo. Like a sound effect. Again, don't be skimpy on the cheese, especially in this house. You bought it to eat it, right? Now it's going to start melting itself, but I'm going to bring these closer together like this. Because what I want to do here, since I have this dome that I bought, that I want to cover it with, that will allow the cheese to melt faster. I'm going to put this here. In the meantime, we're going to get this bread. Let's check on this. Yeah, looks like they're melting good. And we're going to open this up. Mucho caliente. Anything around this griddle is going to be hot. So I'm going to cut a piece about, I'm going to slice this here, slice this one here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these down on the grill and try to get a little toast on them. Let's take a look at this. Oh, look how well these are melted, huh? Put this in our pocket. Just wanted to get a little bit of warmth on it. Put this here. Scoop this baby up. Nope, went right past it. Right on here. This is messy. And I'm dropping it, I'm losing it. Alright. Now it's a messy cheesesteak sandwich, but I don't care. Let's get these pushed in here. Let's get a bite. Now, the flavors are to die for. This griddle does not disappoint. That's so good. Alright, so there you have it. Philly cheesesteak on the Blackstone 36-inch griddle. This is Frankie G, the Cooking Cowboy, signing off. And I'll see you next time. This is so good. Sayonara.